So let's concentrate on the two other questions that we had, which is how to practice and learn programming from anywhere using just a web browser, and a weird Google product that almost nobody knows. I sort of combined these two questions into one, because I will show you there in a second this tool, and then I will give you a free gift. I will give you a chance to basically download what I'm doing here, so that you can try it out for yourself in your web browser. And the tool is called Google Colaboratory, or Google Colab for short. And these are kind of interactive coding workbooks or textbooks. It works online in your browser. There's nothing to install, nothing complicated. So you don't actually need to buy a new computer or something. You can even use it on your tablet, on your iPad, on your Android tablet. It works there perfectly. It works on your phone as well, but it's a little bit hard to type, but you can at least scroll around and read. And as I said, it's like an interactive textbook with instructions that you can follow. So that's sort of the underlying technology. And you execute cells, little blocks of code containing just a few lines, and then you read, I will show you in a second, you will read what it's about. And basically you don't really have to worry about copy pasting a lot of stuff into a weird program that you need to install. It basically means there's no overwhelm, no frustration, right? But enough from me telling you this. I'm going to show you this, and then I'm going to share this with you later on. So this is an example of a Python Google Colab workbook. And you see we've got there stuff. It's like a page, like a web page. You can surf to it. The first thing that you always should be doing when you are working with Google Colab is you should make a copy of that workbook, because the workbook belongs to somebody. And then if you click File and Save a Copy in Drive, you create a copy and copy it into your own Google Drive. So you need a Google account, but it's free. And if you've got an Android phone, you most probably already have a Google account, or if you're using YouTube or Gmail. So yeah, you're pretty much set. And if not, then just create a Google account so you can save your own copy into the drive. And if you select that, you get your own copy. So that's what the file name here suggests, copy of Python demo. And then, we can start reading there. Okay, we just scroll around. We just made a copy, and then we read how to manage data. So that's an example of a lesson in Python here start learning Python. So we say click into the gray box below to get a blinking cursor, then type the line print 3 and press the play icon on the left. Instead of pressing the play button, you can also hold the shift key and hit the enter key. Okay, so this is the thing that's highlighted here is in the instruction cell here. So the gray area here is basically just the instruction that we need to do. The actual interactive part of that workbook is here in this gray area with the play button here. Okay, so I click inside it and I get a blinking cursor, and then I can start typing print, P-R-I-N-T. That's a function that produces an output. How do I know that? Well, I've just read ahead here, but let's stick to the instructions and just type what we have here. So print, then we've got some parentheses, some opening parentheses. And you see when I typed the opening parentheses, we've got some code completion or some help actually. We don't need to type everything. I'm going to show you in a second. If you're not sure, actually, I should show you right now. If you're not sure how to actually write that print statement, how that print function actually looks like or how it's spelled, you can hit the control key and the space bar, and then it will take a couple of seconds, or at least it should show me. It doesn't work right now for me. I know why, because I need to connect first. Hang on, I shouldn't have searched for that before, but let's do that. Wait a second, it just takes a couple of seconds the first time we're gonna connect. So, and now if I hit control and space, I see print built-in function, and I can select it. So it auto completes that. I don't really need to type. I don't need to remember that by heart. I just hit control and space. And now I'm in between the parentheses. So it tells me now I can print some values. It's going to be an object. So we're not quite sure yet because we're just getting started what that means. But the message that I want to get across for you is we can get help. We can get online help. We don't really need to read books or look up something. We just have context sensitive help there. Okay, so what should we actually print out? We should print out the number 3. So that's what it is. So that's our very simple first program, right? It should print out the number 3, but it doesn't do that yet because we still need to execute the program. When we are writing a program, this is sort of the way where we are putting together the recipe, the cooking recipe. I like to compare it sometimes. When you're writing a cooking recipe, you're not creating the cake or whatever the meal is. You're just writing down instructions. Unless you then execute on these instructions, then you're going to produce the output, the meal, the cookie or whatever it is, the cake. And in our relation here, we need to click on this run icon here. And then you see we've got a green check mark here. And below we've got the output of that cell that we just executed, of our little program. Don't worry about this 1 here. This is just the line number. So if we're writing our programs here, the box, the gray area here expands, and we get a line number to the left. So that's what's being done automatically. Okay, so we've done the exercise, and now we read on. Our very short program is being run, and the print function produces an output below. What happens if you change the number within the parentheses? Well, let's try that out. I can click here, and let's change it to, I don't know, 8. And the thing is, it doesn't change the output immediately because I still have to run the program. Okay, so these are 2 separate steps: coding something, modifying the program, but only then executing it, running the program. This is when we get our modifications shown, and now I'm printing the number 8 there. Very exciting. What happens if we follow the instructions here? Type in the box below, print 3 plus 4. Well, what did you expect? Print parentheses, so that's what's being printed out. And this is what's called an expression within the parentheses. Excuse me. This is an expression that's being evaluated. In our case, it's a calculation which is just an addition, right? 3 plus 4 equals 7. So the result is being calculated before the actual result is then being sent to the print function. And if we run this, we see that the answer or the output is actually 7, which is hopefully the right answer. Yes, 3 plus 4 is 7. And we can try out different calculations. We can say 3 minus 4. And instead of just clicking the run icon here, we can hit Shift and Enter. And we get the correct answer of -1. We can use multiplication. This is this asterisk symbol here that you might be familiar with. So it's not like the X or a dot or something. It's always the asterisk in programming. So 3 times 4 is 12. And let's divide 3 by 4, and that's 0.75. Okay, so these are simple examples, of course, and very trivial examples, but it's showing you the way that we are able to work with that. We don't need to install anything. We just basically have served to that website that I will give you afterwards. You will get this whole workbook there. You can make a copy of it, first of all, but then you just scroll around and you just follow the instructions step by step. And that's really it. So let's continue with our workbook here. What happens if we like to print text like a name? So let's try that. Print Tom. So I'm going to write my name here and hit Shift and Enter to execute it. But now I've got an error. Ooh, error. Well, we are getting used to errors. Errors are part of programming. This doesn't mean that you've failed. It basically means that your program doesn't do what it's supposed to be doing. That doesn't do what you thought it should be doing. So in our case, it doesn't print our name here or my name. With error, name Tom is not defined. So what does it mean? Well, it doesn't really know what to do with that thing here between the parentheses, TOM. Python says, well, can't do that. And what's the solution there? If you want to output text, it's important to put it into double quotes. You can also use single quotes, but it's another topic. Let's stick to the double quotes for now. Like so, print parentheses, double quotes, Tom. So let's try that out. Print parentheses, double quotes, TOM. Shift Enter, and now we don't get the error message here. If you want to get rid of that, you've got a little, if you hover over that symbol here, you've got an X, so you can change it. But unless you actually change and fix the problem here, you will still have that red button here. But yeah, I don't really care about that right now. So to wrap things up here, I'm going to write a program that outputs my name and calculates my age in days, at least approximately, like this. So hi, I'm name, and I am 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or whatever number of days old. Okay. And of course, I don't want to really calculate the number of days ahead with my iPhone before. I want to use Python to do that. So how can we do that? Well, we haven't really seen that we can use more than just one line of code. And what happens is that if I have multiple functions, multiple lines in my program, it's being executed one by one, line by line. So in our case, the first line of the output is 3, because that's the first print function here. Then the next one is 4, and the next one is 7. Okay, so we could use that, and the output here that we should be producing hints at that we're going to need 3 print functions here. So let's use that first line here. Hi, I'm name, and I am. So we said that we need quotes, double quotes, in order to produce output that has text in it. And because I'm lazy as a programmer, I just copy pasted stuff here. So I highlighted it, and I had copy selection or Command or Control C, and then I just put the double, or actually I started with just a parentheses here and hit Command V or Control V, and then I add the missing double quotes here. And instead of name, I'm gonna double click here to highlight name, and then I'll just write my name here. Hi, I'm Tom, and I am. Okay, so if we run this now, and it's good to run steps intermediate, we don't really want to write dozens and dozens of lines of code without really trying it out before, and we can do that very easily. We can, of course, it's not the correct and the right result yet, but the first line is already correct. Hi, I'm Tom, and I am something. Okay, so let's continue with the third line here, because it's also text, and we know how to do that. So this time I'm gonna hit the first double quotes here. And then I am just copy pasting the text that I just selected here before, days old. So if we run this, then the first and the third line are already okay. And what's then missing is, well, my actual age in days. And of course, we said that we don't want to calculate this ourselves. So I just turned 49. I know, shocking. And if I multiply that by, let's say, 365, we're not counting any leap years. That's why I put this approximately here. Then where's my cell here? I just lost it. 49 times 365. Then that should be the number of days of my age. And if I hit run now, I get the output that I expected. First line, hi, I'm Tom, and I am. Then the number of days, that happens to be 17,885. And days old is the last part of that message here. Okay, so I hope you see how easy that is, how non-frightening that is, if you really break it down into very, very, very simple steps. We don't really worry with difficult syntax or stuff that you need to know by heart before you are able to write the very first line, or stuff that you need to install on your computer and you're not sure whether you've got the right operating system or the right versions of anything. That's just a pain in the ass, as they say. And I know I've been there. And here with Google Colab, you just need somebody who will be providing you such a worksheet, which again is what I will be sending you after our meeting. And then you can try it out yourself. You can even create new lines of code here, or new cells here, by just hovering here and click code, and then I get a new cell here that I can do anything here, right? Shift Enter, and that executes the code. So I'm going to send you that workbook so that you can try it out for yourself. You can basically follow the same steps that I just did.